Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem, and here is the news. 1035 days less the Russian invasion of Ukraine. This Christmas morning, Ukraine, and in particular its energy system, was under missile attack by Russia, reports Ukrainska Pravda. Due to the strike, Ukraine national energy operator Ukrenergo imposed measures to limit electricity consumption. Many Ukrainians woke up in darkness this morning. President Volodymyr Zelensky informed that Russian forces launched more than 70 missiles and over 100 attack drones. He also noted that the defenders had managed to shoot down more than 50 missiles and a significant number of drones. Quote, "Today Putin deliberately chose Christmas for an attack. What could be more inhumane?" Unquote. The head of state added that unfortunately there have been hits. As of now, there are power outages in several regions. Power engineers are working to restore power supply as soon as possible. During the attack, Russian forces targeted thermal power plants of Ukraine's largest energy company, Dec, causing severe damage to the power plant equipment. They also struck the western region of Prikapatia, leaving parts of it without electricity. Explosions were reported in the cities of Dnipro, Kryvyi Rih, Samar, and Kamensk. Kharkiv Mayor Igor Terehov confirmed ballistic missile strikes on the city, with 3 casualties reported in the Saltivsky district, 2 of them in a serious condition. Hits were also recorded in the Kyivsky district. At least 1 person was killed in the Dnipro region. In his video address on the Christmas Eve on the 24th of December, President Zelensky recalled that it was in the city of Pokrovsk, which Russian forces are now approaching, that the Ukrainian composer Mykola Leontovich wrote Shchedrik, known around the world as the Carol of the Bells. Quote, "The divine music composed there and the evil that Russia has brought there sharply illustrate the difference between us and them. We strive to create, while for some the meaning of life is to sow death. We seek harmony, seek justice, we want peace. All we need is to live peacefully on our own land, to see the sun, our sky, and in it a Christmas star, not Iranian shaheds or Russian missiles. But for some, life feels boring and lacks excitement." Unquote. The letter referred to the recent statement by Russian leader Vladimir Putin that when everything is calm, Russians long for some quote-unquote excitement. Zelensky reminded Ukrainians that this is the second year in which the whole country has celebrated Christmas on the same date. Last year, the Orthodox Church of Ukraine moved the date of Christmas from 7th January to 25th of December. We would really appreciate if you could rate us, ideally with 5 stars, and leave a glowing review in the app where you're listening to this podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and others. This really helps more people to find out about the highlights from Ukraine and truth about Russia's invasion. Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal announced the receipt of the first $1 billion of a $20 billion loan from the United States secured by proceeds from frozen Russian assets, reports Radio Liberty. Another $1 billion was received from Japan and the UK. The funds raised, according to him, will be used to strengthen the economy and finance priority expenditures in the social and humanitarian spheres. This is part of the Group of Seven's plan to provide Ukraine with 50 billion euros from Russian assets. The funds will be provided formally as a loan, but will be repaid through a tax on excess profits received from frozen Russian assets. According to the Coordination Headquarters for the Treatment of Prisoners of War, between 24th February 2022 and the end of October 2024, Ukraine has retrieved the bodies of 184 Ukrainians who died in Russian captivity, including 169 military and 15 civilians, reports Media Initiative for Human Rights. The actual number of deceased prisoners is likely significantly higher. The organization has collected testimonies from 122 Ukrainian soldiers who were held captive in Russia. These accounts describe systematic torture, isolation from the outside world, and the lack of adequate medical care. There are still many Ukrainian defenders in Russian captivity who have been there since the first months of the Great War, meaning more than 30 months. Russia does not allow monitoring mission representatives, including the International Committee of the Red Cross, to visit them. It does not inform Ukraine about the deterioration of their health or death. All of these are gross violations of the Geneva Conventions. Documented evidence also highlights numerous cases of prisoner deaths caused by inhumane conditions and torture in detention facilities. Among the 169 military personnel who died in captivity and whose bodies were returned to Ukraine, 55 died from explosions at the Olenivka penal colony, for which Russia blamed Ukraine without any evidence. Thank you for listening to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast. We're a commercial initiative of just two people and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the app, subscribe to our Patreon. Happy holidays, everyone! With your support, we are getting better. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.